Hi. I'm going to start off with a question. How many of you have been told at least once in your life that if you work hard enough and if you study hard enough, you'll get into a good university and in turn get a good, well-paying job? Okay, not to be stereotypical, but that's Asian parents for you, am I right? I've had the exact same conversation over and over again with my own parents. It goes something like this. Daewe, study hard, no? Papa and Mama work so hard to get you and your brothers where you are today. But unfortunately, getting into a good university isn't just about studying hard enough and having good grades. You see, while we invest our money into these universities, hoping to be paid in multitudes throughout our lifetime, universities are also trying to figure out if you're a worthy investment. In that statement alone, we have to ask ourselves, are we really smart or are we just born wealthy? Let's start off with a very obvious example, Ivy Leagues. They're some of the most prestigious and top universities in the entire world, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and all of the others. Getting into an Ivy League school is like drinking out of the Holy Grail. It's telling everybody that you made it. Getting into any top 30 university, really. My parents have drilled this thought into me since I was like 10. But according to the New York Times, 1 in 6 students at selected private universities come from the top income percentile range. A study conducted at Harvard and Brown University in October of 2023 compared SAT and ACT scores, and they found a correlation between a child's wealth and their admittance into the university. What this means is they compared similar test scores from 2 different children and tried to figure out why one person got in and the other didn't. A child who came from the top income percentile range was twice more likely to get into a private university compared to middle and upper middle class students. So you have to ask yourself, are these universities not accepting lower income students just because they don't want to? Harvard economist Raj Chetty asks, are these highly selective colleges in America taking kids from very high income, influential families and basically channeling them to remain at the top and for the next generation? If I were to answer Mr. Chetty's question, I would have to say that universities have been doing this for centuries, and it's called legacy admissions. Legacy admissions is just a fancier word that universities use to hide the fact that they exercise nepotism. And nepotism in its core is relationship-based favoritism. It might be asking your parent if you could intern at their bank, or asking your favorite teacher who you know likes you too if they could write an outstanding recommendation letter for you. That's what nepotism is. Okay, so now as an international student, I can't lie here, and I have to be aware of my own privilege. I stink of nepotism, and I stink of money. My French teacher once went on a tangent on how just by the way I walk and talk, he could tell I never worked a day in my life. In that sense alone, you can tell how privileged I am to be where I'm standing. I'm an international school student learning French. I don't think I even have to bring up proof of its existence. We can look at the Kardashians for that. But seriously, nepotism is so ridiculously prevalent in our society that we don't even blink an eye unless it's so outrageous or if it directly affects us and our own accomplishments. Again, according to Harvard and Brown University, children of alumni at selected colleges were 7 times more likely to get into a private university, 7 times more likely to get in compared to the top income percentile. That's how prevalent nepotism is. Okay, so this is the part where someone could argue that these are just private universities. Public universities like the University of Texas and the University of Virginia are way more equitable when it comes to admissions because of the fact that they're public. So maybe the solution is just don't go to a private university, go public, right? 12% of Fortune 500 chief executives, 25% of US senators, and 13% of the 0.1 income percentile range. All three of these things have something in common. All three of them come from private elite universities. So what does this tell us? It tells us that the game isn't just being played by the rich, it's being made by them. So this romanticism of these universities comes only natural when it proves a path to power and influence. Professor Donarski, who worked with U of Michigan on trying to make private university admissions more equitable, stated perfectly on the matter. This shows how much of a difference the Ivies make. The political elite, the economic elite, and the intellectual elite are all coming out of these schools. Okay, so what can we do? It's not like we can break an already established hierarchy, and it's not like we can change the family we come from. And you're right, we can't. However, as cliche as it sounds, we always have options to choose from. Today, I'll give you two. A, you can change your surroundings, or B, you can adapt to it. See, humans are naturally sociable beings. We pick up habits from others, and they pick up habits from us. If you're thinking of choosing A, you might realize that the friends and family around you aren't supporting you in your own accomplishments. And I know it's hard to let go of people you deeply value and appreciate. But you have to evaluate to yourself also. Are these people around you actually of value? Or are they an antique object you're praying will be of value to you again? If this applies to you, you might want to start thinking about changing your surroundings. If you're thinking of choosing B, you might realize that the people around you are always working towards their goals, working towards their accomplishments. So, as I said before, because humans are sociable beings, you also want to pick up these habits. This doesn't mean that you're changing your personality or forcing yourself to be someone you're not. It just means you're adapting. So today, I've given you two options, but both of them are about taking control of your surroundings. So choose wisely, because shaping your environment is what shapes your future. Thank you.